And one local mom is keeping the mission of her daughter alive. 13 on your side, Chanel Ramos attended the ribbon cutting of the newest inclusion playground in Yuma and shares the details.
After 1 year of construction, the dream of one little girl has finally come true.
I'm gonna say I built that playground.
Jacob Ruth, a Boy Scout and friend since kindergarten, knows for a fact.
Addie feels happy seeing all these people come out here to watch her playground, watch us build it from the heart.
Ruth, along with his Boy Scout troop, collaborated with Stacy Tams, who serves as the founder of Addie Packs, along with more than 100 well-wishers were in attendance of the ribbon-cutting ceremony at C.W. McGraw Elementary, the site of the inclusion playground. With a price tag of more than $50,000 to complete, it was a labor of love.
We had a walk in 2022 and raised money and got a couple of very generous donations. And then this summer, Jake Ruth and the Eagle Scout, as his Eagle Scout project, took on the finishing touches of all the labor of concrete and added the swing set. So it's been about a year in the making. So half of it's been sitting out here for years, so kids are really excited.
Today was a full circle moment for one mother whose daughter will enjoy the playground.
Very happy and excited. It's good to see inclusion and her knowing how to play with kids that are different from her. So she gets to learn, about differences and different abilities. So that's really exciting. And I was actually a McGraw student, so it's really cool to see the school evolve, and it's still very welcoming and exciting to be here.
Continuing the legacy of her daughter is rewarding.
So we decided part of her mission to make a world a better place is to do something nice for the schools around her and help with the inclusion and making something that all kids can play on.
For more information on Addie's Pack, go to our website, kyma.com. Reporting in studio, Chanel Ramos, 13 on your side.
And Calexico Unified School District welcomed a new principal. Reporter Jaylene Aguilera tells us more and how he brings great community involvement.
John Moreno is the newly appointed principal of Calexico High School and has been serving the community for many years.
We call John Mr. Calexico, right? And people in town know him as Mr. Calexico.
Moreno grew up in Calexico for most of his life and dedicates his time by being involved in the community. From former Bulldog, mayor of the city, council member, and the Valley's radio football broadcaster, will now tackle his new position as a high school principal.
I'm happy, I'm nervous, and I think that's a good thing, but and also excited to be part of this great school district. That good things are happening.
Moreno has been the commentator for the Bulldogs football for 26 years and now does play-by-play games for the Valley Sports Network.
And my partner Victor Carrillo and I do the play-by-play, he does the color commentator. We talk football, we talk life, we talk schools, we talk kids, and we promote them through this medium.
Moreno will be passing on his past position as Director of Alternative Education over to Francisco Areola.
I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm proud to be the principal at Aurora High School, because that's one of the duties as the Director of Alternative Education is to be the principal at Aurora High School. So I'm very proud because I was a graduate from Aurora High School, class of '87.
Moreno will continue to cover the Valley's football games on the radio. Reporting from Calexico, I'm Jaylene Aguilera.
Thank you, Jaylene. As the blood shortage continues in Yuma, a nonprofit organization hopes you can make a difference and save lives. Vitalant is holding blood drives at the Moose Lodge in the foothills on Monday and at YRMC Wednesday and Thursday. Blood supply is down by 25% and the blood demand has been increasing after the COVID pandemic.
Although the COVID-19 pandemic is over, there are people who have surgeries, accidents, traumas, those with bleeding disorders. All those patients and more depend upon life-saving transfusions when they go to the hospital.
To learn more about the upcoming blood drives in Yuma, you can visit our website. The Joe Munoz Park inaugurated LED lighting for the new skate park in Somerton. The skate park opened in May. The Cocopah tribe donated $15,000 and the city provided another $4,000 to finish the project. The high temperatures prevent kids from enjoying the park during the day, so most come out at night. But without lights, it was difficult to skate.
It is for the safety of the children, the safety of the public that comes to have fun. As you can see, the boys are there right now. Obviously, the lights are not working right now, but once it gets dark, it will be a great thing for them.
Closes at 11 p.m. and the community is invited to enjoy the new amenities. And for the first time, Coachella County will participate in the Fiestas del Sol in Mexicali. This year, the fair runs from September 29th to October 15th. There will be new attractions and 8 new exhibit sections, including an area for off-road fans, a chief exhibit, and an area with Chinese culture and a space for artists from Imperial and Coachella counties.
In the new sections that we are going to have, there will be the participation of the Coachella Valley as a sister city. We know that many people come from Southern California and near the border like Yuma, so this time we want them to be part of the fair. They are going to exhibit the Day of the Dead Festival. It is a great event that they carry out every year over there, and we want the people here to know about it.
Each year, 80,000 residents of Southern California and Arizona visit the fair. They expect to break attendance records this year. The wildfires that swept through Maui this week have killed at least 55 people, and that number is expected to rise. The governor is calling the fires Hawaii's worst disaster in the state's history. Today, people are being allowed to venture back into their neighborhoods to see if their homes were spared. Jessica Cartel has the latest from Maui.
We're seeing new video of people waiting for a Coast Guard rescue after jumping in the ocean Tuesday to escape the wildfire that roared through historic Lahaina town. While 80% of the town was destroyed, evacuees are anxious to see whether their homes were spared.
We do want people to get back to their home and just do what they can to assess safely, because it's pretty dangerous.
Drone video captures how the fast-moving flames incinerated homes, yet spared others just feet away. The burn zone stretches for about 8 miles.
So many things could have gone wrong, but for us, we lost a house, but our business is still here.
Eleanor Worth's home is now a pile of ashes. Officials say the rebuilding process will be lengthy and complicated because basic infrastructure is destroyed.
I'm a little worried because I have a 4-month-old and a 2-year-old.
And basic needs are immediate, with some residents feeling desperate.
We need formula, diapers, ice, water, and just food.
Relief is on the way, but getting supplies to the island is a challenge.
Our hearts are broken for people, but we have to go forward. We have to survive as a people, and that's what we'll do.
Maui is under a curfew. Officials are urging people who don't live here to please stay away. Jessica Cartalia, CBS News, Maui.
And Louise, the temperatures seem to be holding steady for the time being, but will those triple digits continue to rise?
Yes, absolutely. That's what we're tracking here over the next 7 days. So if you've been enjoying the slight cool down we've been getting, then definitely brace for some of these much warmer conditions. Right now, we're taking a look outside using our RV World Yuma Skycam. Overlooking the water towers near downtown Yuma, you could see some of the slight breezes that we're dealing with throughout the area. The American flag waving there in the background. Coming up a little later on in your first alert forecast, we'll let you know more about those breezes that are hitting the area, at least for today. Those could be calming down as we go throughout the rest of the week. Also, again, tracking those temperatures to increase. We'll let you know which days will be the hottest, and of course, one of our always wonderful viewer weather photos all coming up here in just a little while. For right now, though, Jessica, we'll send it back over to you.
Thank you, Louise. Well, switching gears now, back-to-school shopping is well underway, and parents are expected to shell out a record amount on supplies this year. CBS's Haley Ott shows us some ways to save some money.
Oh, you need a hard plastic pencil box.
Parents are checking those supply lists twice.
Right there, those lunch boxes.
As they plan to spend a record amount on back-to-school shopping. The National Retail Federation says families with students in elementary to high school are expected to fork over $890. Those with college kids, a record $1,366 per student. One reason for the increase, about a third of shoppers are buying big-ticket items like computers and phones. New data show prices for smartphones are actually down 17.6% from last year, and books and other educational supplies are down 3%. Children's footwear is also cheaper.
Being able to find it on sale is always going to be a good thing.
Samantha Gordon from Consumer Reports says many retailers are offering deals, so compare prices. More than a dozen states offer summer sales tax holidays, which add to the savings.
Having two to shop for, since things have went up over the last couple of years, and the sales tax, that's going to help out a lot.
Experts say while one-stop shopping is tempting, it's important to take your time and be methodical.
If you're really looking to save money, the best strategy is to spread out your shopping over time and over different retailers.
And time's not up when the school bell rings.
You can ask teachers which items are going to be needed right away and what you might be able to hold off on until the later months.
Advice that could help shoppers.
I try to penny pinch whatever I can.
Stretch every dollar. Haley Ott, CBS News, Clifton, New Jersey.
And many parents are gearing up with the basic school supplies, but one item that is probably not on their list is their kid's musical instrument. Fretworks Music Center is making sure your kid has all the musical items necessary to be at school's next Beethoven. The general manager says they are expecting a couple hundred kids to pour in and started preparing since June.
We were placing orders for books and accessories and reeds and cleaning kits and all the stuff that the kids are going to need for band. And our rental partner, which is Bertrand Music of San Diego, brought us stacks and stacks of clean rental instruments. So we are ready to hit the ground running with all the parents and students.
Make sure to check when your kid will be needing their instrument and supplies by so they can get in the next trouble. And this takes us to our topic of the day. Did you have to spend a lot of money on your back-to-school shopping? Just to head over to our website at kyma.com/polls to let us know what you think. We'll have the final tally tonight at 10. And coming up next on 13 on Your Side, Hunter Biden is feeling the burn. The investigation continues with a possible plea deal in the works. Plus, a judge issues a protective order over former President Trump. We share the reasoning behind it just ahead. We'll be right back.
You rip and tear your old statements and bills, but thieves use this information to steal your identity. Don't be a victim. Get the ID Police, the new ink roller that encrypts all your old documents. So before you throw it out, just roll it on, and your information is gone, both on the front and through the back. Even if the paper is held up to the light, even your medical information is safe with the ID Police. So block it out before you throw it out. Order now and get your ID Police for as low as $9.99 and get free shipping too. This offer is not available on Amazon, so call or click now to get your ID Police for as low as $9.99 with free shipping. Order now.
Call 1-800-903-8817. That's 1-800-903-8817 or visit getidpolice.com. So call 1-800-903-8817 now.
When services for their child weren't available,
a lot of these kids miss out on these opportunities.
Parents banding together, helping kids learn to belong with autism.
Even though we're not related, we all share a similar story. And that's what unites us in our journey.
A special report by Jalen Fong.
Well, it's amazing to see your child just excel on the field.
You can really see there's a lot of heart here. There's a lot of love here.
Never left behind.
When life gets overwhelming, but you just don't feel like talking, help is only a text away. Trained and caring crisis specialists are available by text 24/7 to assist with suicidal thoughts, substance use issues, depression, anxiety, and more. You are never alone. When you need help, please text HOPE to 4HOPE. From anywhere in Arizona, text the word HOPE to 44673. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
13 on Your Side, News at 6 continues now.
Welcome back. The Justice Department today announced a special counsel in the investigation into the president's son, Hunter Biden. The government also announced the talks for a plea deal are an immense possibility. Natalie Brand has developing details from Washington, D.C.
13 on your side starts now.
Attorney General Merrick Garland announced a special counsel to investigate President Biden's son Hunter. The move gives U.S. Attorney David Weiss expanded powers to continue his probe into Hunter Biden's tax and gun charges.
This appointment confirms my commitment to provide Mr. Weiss all the resources he requests. It also reaffirms that Mr. Weiss has the authority he needs to conduct a thorough investigation and to continue to take the steps he deems appropriate independently.
Weiss, who is a Trump appointee, began investigating Hunter Biden in 2019. In June, he announced a plea deal in which Biden would plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor tax crimes and would dismiss a felony gun charge if he remained drug-free and committed no additional crimes for 2 years. That plea deal fell apart late last month when the judge in the case questioned the terms of the deal and whether it was in the public's best interest.
I don't think you move David Weiss into the special counsel category unless there might be something else, unless there is something that could come in the future.
House Republicans, who are leading their own investigations into Hunter Biden and the president, have long called for a special counsel in the case, but say they don't agree with the Attorney General's choice. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy on social media said, quote, "If Weiss negotiated the sweetheart deal that couldn't get approved, how can he be trusted as special counsel?" Attorney General Garland says Weiss has told Congress he will have the ultimate authority over deciding where, when, and whether to file charges. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
And continuing on the political realm, a judge has issued a protective order covering evidence in the 2020 election case against former President Donald Trump. She says it's to protect witnesses and avoid other kinds of interference with the case. Judge Tanya Kutkan is barring Trump from publicly disclosing what she calls sensitive information. She defines that as grand jury secrets like subpoenaed information and witness testimony. It also includes transcripts and recordings of witness interviews that happened outside the grand jury. She's also restricting search evidence, sealed orders, and evidence from other public agencies. The order isn't as strict as prosecutors had wanted or as relaxed as Trump's attorneys had requested. And cracking down on loiters, Walgreens is the latest chain to blast classical music outside some of its stores. The reason behind this, well, the goal is to stop people from loitering and creating problems. Sarah Schultz reports.
Cue the music. Caged speakers surround the outside of certain Chicago Walgreens stores, blasting a loop of classical classics.
This sounds a little dark, like the Phantom of the Opera-like stuff, you know, but I guess you gotta start somewhere.
I thought maybe their system was like stuck, playing the same track over and over again from Halloween or something like that.
Nothing is stuck. The Walgreens short playlist, which includes some Bach and Rossini's William Tell Overture, is played over and over to deter loitering.
I don't know how that does that. I mean, I think it's an interesting idea. I'd like to understand what the science is behind it. Somebody's figured this out.
According to Deerfield-based Walgreens, there is no hard data behind it, but it may be working. During midday, 2 locations with the music did not have anyone loitering, while another Walgreens without the music had people hanging out. In a written statement, the corporation says for more than a year, it has implemented a loop of classical music at certain locations nationwide, including Chicago, and Walgreens is not alone. Opera is the genre of choice for 7-Eleven stores. A few in Chicago also plays music to deter loitering. The Chicago Coalition for the Homeless blasts the tactic used by both companies.
It's essentially treating them as less than human and treating them as a nuisance, whereas there are folks that are in need of housing and supports.
There is no music yet at the South Loop Walgreens, where Robert Jackson likes to hang out because it's shady. The 63-year-old is experiencing homelessness. He says a loop of music would not deter him from leaving. He would welcome it.
I love music, all types of music, so it wouldn't really bother me. but I'll be the one being right there listening to it, bobbing my head.
Well, more hot temperatures on the way here for the desert Southwest. We let you know which areas and which days will be the hottest coming up in your first alert forecast.
I just want you girls to know there's no one that deserves this more than you.
It's time to go home. It was important for me to honor her.
Woo! Papa, this is for you.
We are literally raising the roof up in here.
Yeah, Josh is like a brother to me.
New Secret Celebrity Renovation tonight at 8/7 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
The new Miracle Blade World Class 2012 Professional Series is the best set of knives you'll ever own. The spectacular World Class 2012 Series, over a $300 value for just $39.95. But we're just getting started. We'll send you a complete second set of Miracle Blades for free. That's right, another entire set, a $300 value for free. Just pay shipping and processing. And we're still not done. If you're one of the first 500 callers, we'll send you 2 additional Miracle Blade World Class Slicers. That's an additional $80 value, totally free. Miracle Blade World Class is also guaranteed for life. We'll replace any damaged knife at any time for any reason for free forever. Over $600 worth of knives for just one payment of $39.95. Don't miss this opportunity. Call right now or just log on to miracleblade.com.
Welcome back, everybody. A happy Friday to all of you across the desert Southwest. Hopefully it's been a good start to your weekend so far as we continue to deal with this slight little cool down in the desert Southwest, but temperatures will be rising here over the rest of the weekend. We're taking a look outside right now using our RV World Yuma Skycam overlooking the water towers here in downtown Yuma, and as you can see, a little bit of a breeze going on as we notice the American flag waving in the background to go along with some of the shake here on the Skycam as well. I did mention that slight cool down we're going through. Let's take a look at some of our current temperatures. We'll begin with the Imperial Valley. You can see 105 degrees at the moment in El Centro. Ocotillo actually under that triple-digit range at 97 degrees. And as we head across the state and county line into Yuma County, Arizona, of course, tracking very similar conditions. Yuma sitting at 102, along with YPG and Quartzsite. The foothills, meanwhile, sitting at 103. Things will stay warm here for the next few hours, but it'll be leading to a pretty much more comfortable night. You can see that we'll be dealing with mostly clear skies throughout the night as well. We'll be at 101 degrees for the 7 o'clock hour, dipping into the lower 90s around 10 p.m. and then around 1 a.m. we'll begin noticing those higher 80s ranges. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the breezes I was mentioning as well just a second ago. We're staying pretty consistent throughout both counties here, dealing with 10 to 15 mile per hour winds depending on where you're at. Apologies for some of the exact missing numbers there, but again, 10 to 15 miles per hour, mostly what we're dealing with here in the desert Southwest. And as we take a look at our future wind speeds, you can see that we're dealing with some calmer speeds going throughout the rest of the night tonight and into tomorrow. Looking now at our air quality index sponsored by the Imperial County Air Pollution Control District. Good conditions across the board for the valleys. Definitely a welcome sight there. Certainly see if that changes throughout the rest of the night, especially with some of those winds expected to pick up just a little bit. But for the most part, again, tracking some good overall air quality. Taking a look at our viewer weather photo of the day, coming to us from Carrie Ochoa, giving us a fantastic shot of some Somerton lightning. How about this? Looks like it was caught on security camera, maybe a Ring doorbell, but either way, very cool shot here of some lightning. Carrie, thank you so much for getting this sent in. Of course, if you have a photo that you'd like to share with us, just take out your phone, open your camera app, go ahead and scan the QR code right there on your screen. Of course, that takes you right over to our homepage at kyma.com. From there, just upload your very own photos, and hopefully we can get you featured right here on the newscast. Let's go ahead and take a look at our 7-day forecast for the Yuma area. Again, we're going to be going through a warm-up here over the next 7 days, reaching a high of 114 degrees on Wednesday. That'll continue into Thursday as well as we get some winds making their way back to the area. But overall here for the next 7 days, not tracking too many breezy conditions. And as we take a look at our 7-day forecast for the Imperial Valley, we're tracking just about more of the same. Those winds will be coming for at least 1 day for Imperial County. You can see on Monday that'll help to kick off our week with some of those gusty conditions. Again, though, we'll be going through that very same warm-up as things could be peaking at 114 degrees on Thursday. Coming up next, we take you down to the border where a quarterback looks to lead his team to a championship while setting records in the process. Our own Jalen Fong will share more from Vincent Memorial coming up next in sports.
This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 72 hours only at Houston's Yuma Furniture. Get savings so huge they can only be offered 3 days a year. Incredible discounts and special buys store-wide. And up to 5 years, no interest. The most amazing 72 hours ever. Houston's just declared this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday the biggest mattress sale of the year. It's 72 hours of huge savings and special discounts that no other mattress store can offer. Shop top brands with up to 5 years no interest. 72 hours only. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Houston's Yuma Furniture.
The new Miracle Blade World Class 2012 Professional Series is the best set of knives you'll ever own. The spectacular World Class 2012 series, over a $300 value for just $39.95. But we're just getting started. We'll send you a complete second set of Miracle Blades for free. That's right, another entire set, a $300 value for free. Just pay shipping and processing. And we're still not done. If you're one of the first 500 callers, we'll send you 2 additional Miracle Blade World Class slicers. That's an additional $80 value, totally free. Miracle Blade World Class is also guaranteed for life. We'll replace any damaged knife at any time for any reason for free forever. Over $600 worth of knives for just one payment of $39.95. Don't miss this opportunity. Call right now or just log on to miracleblade.com.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years and I got my third child who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Looking to reclaim the top spot in the Desert League while setting records in the process. Welcome into sports, everyone. The Vincent Memorial Scots have been the epitome of consistency when it comes to the smaller schools in the Imperial Valley. Their high-flying air raid offense make them one of the most entertaining teams to watch. Our own Jalen Fong took a trip to Calexico and joins us with a preview.
The Vincent Memorial Scots have quietly become one of the more consistent programs in the Imperial Valley over the past decade. Most of that credit belongs to ninth-year head coach David Wong. In that time, Wong has led the Scots to 3 league titles and a CIF section title back in 2017.
Right now it's too early to tell you where we're going to be at halfway through the season and where we're going to be at the season. But we're going to have a fun year.
The Scots are primed for a return to greatness behind senior quarterback Jacobo Elias, who is on pace to break multiple school records with his arm.
I'm trying to get closer to my teammates. This is my last season with them. Trying to give them a good year. We're working together, and I'm trying to strive to get to a CIF championship.
Elias says individual glory will take a backseat this year to team success.
I don't mind the personal careers at Vincent. I'm trying to get a team win and the championship. That's my number one goal right now, and then focus on getting to the next chapter on the football career, which is college.
Wong knows that they cannot rely solely on the heroics of his star quarterback, and that new faces will have to emerge if the Scots are going to find success.
What we're going to try to do this year a little bit more is run the ball, not have him scramble. We're going to try to implement a running game, so that's going to help him and relieve some of the pressure.
This season, San Diego Section Division 5 will be split into 2, with the smaller schools competing for the AA section title. Vincent Memorial could have been one of those schools, but opted to stay in the upper Division 5 section. Coach Wong explained his decision to stay with his team's mantra.
Competition. I think that every year Vincent Memorial is ready to compete against a bigger school, especially in Division 5. We have no qualms about who we play.
The Scots will have a tough jump to begin their 2023 campaign. Starting on the road at Monte Vista and Sonora to kick off the season, they'll have their first home game September 1st versus El Cajon Valley. And our prep football previews will roll on this Monday. Next up will be the Kofa Kings. Kofa went 5 years without a win up until last season, but they're hoping they don't have to wait much longer for the next one. We caught up with Coach Pablo Cota and some of the Kings. Chaz Messman will give you a look ahead as Kofa looks to take another step in the right direction. Again, you can catch it on Monday night at 6 and 10 p.m. right here on 13 on your side. Right now, that's all the time we have for sports.
And next, healing therapy comes in all forms to help others navigate through challenging times of sickness. We share how one man brings his passion for music to bring comfort to others.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Paradise Casino wants to celebrate 27 years with you during the $54,000 anniversary cash giveaway. Play for the chance to win $1,000 cash August 5th and 19th. So much, so close. Paradise Casino.
Does this look familiar? You probably think this is what owning hearing aids would be like. Let me tell you, there's a better way. The Atom by Audien Hearing. The all-new Audien Atom is the world's first wireless charging hearing aid under $100. The Atom comes with an easy-to-use wireless charging dock. Plus, the Atom has a 22% smaller design, so it's nearly invisible when worn in the ear. That's why we have over 250,000 happy customers. Each pair has a 45-day money-back guarantee, so there is zero risk in trying them.
Call 1-800-581-5155. That's 1-800-581-5155. Call 1-800-581-5155. Or go to AudienHearing.com to get your pair of Audien Atom hearing aids for only $99.
When they learn something new and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
Welcome back. Being a patient in a hospital isn't easy, and some are hurting physically, others can struggle with their mental health. But a pastor who works at one of the U.S. hospitals says he's bringing comfort and solace to patients and staff with his voice. In today's Health Minute, we share more on the singing chaplain and how he says music is helping to lift the spirits of those around him.
For Reverend Chris Kayampa, going to work means sharing two things he loves, his faith and his music.
I'm just singing.
For the past decade at Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Kayampa has clocked in for work with a guitar in hand.
It touches people in a way that maybe other ways of communicating with folks don't.
He projects lyrics and allows patients on various hospital floors to pick what they'd like to hear from a list of more than 180 songs.
I have seen folks who were, just tired and just ready to kind of give up, get a little extra kick in their step from singing a good old Beatles song.
From hymns to punk rock, Kayampa says he sings all genres and allows patients to add songs to his list, with some exceptions.
Sometimes I get some suggestions that the chaplain probably ought not sing.
He says the songs of encouragement are the most requested.
Whether it's, a hymn like Amazing Grace, or whether it's, hey, Jude, don't make it bad, make it better.
His work isn't just about music. He says it's about acknowledging what these patients are going through is hard.
To help life be a little bit better, even if it's only for 45 minutes, it's still a little better at that moment.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy